Snake Island. Snake Island sits about 21 miles off the coast of São Paulo, Brazil, and the Brazilian Navy has made it very clear that nobody's allowed to go there. The island is home to the golden lancehead viper, one of the most venomous snakes in the world, and scientists estimate there are somewhere between 1 to 5 snakes per square meter across the entire 110-acre island. That means no matter where you step, there's almost certainly a snake within arm's reach of you. The golden lancehead's venom is powerful enough to cause tissue death, internal bleeding, and kidney failure, and without treatment, it can kill you. What makes them especially dangerous is that, unlike most snakes that evolved to hunt on the ground, these ones evolved to hunt birds. So they developed faster-acting venom to kill prey before it could fly away. The island has been cut off from the mainland for roughly 11,000 years, which is why the snakes ended up so concentrated and so deadly. Scientists with special permits and a medical professional on standby are occasionally allowed to visit for research purposes because the venom actually shows promise in developing medicines for heart conditions. But for everyone else, it's a hard no, and that's probably for the best. Chernobyl Reactor 4. On April 26, 1986, Reactor 4 at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in northern Ukraine exploded, triggering the worst nuclear disaster in history. Soviet authorities immediately established a roughly 19-mile exclusion zone around the plant, and that zone is still in force today. Tourists can actually visit certain parts of the surrounding area with official guides, which surprises a lot of people, but Reactor 4 itself is completely off-limits to the public for obvious reasons. The core of the reactor still contains highly radioactive material capable of killing a person within hours of exposure. In 2016, workers completed construction of a massive steel structure called the New Safe Confinement, which is a 36,000-ton arch built to enclose the reactor and prevent further radiation from escaping. It's the largest movable structure ever built on land. The project cost about $1.7 billion and should keep the radiation contained for at least the next 100 years, while the material inside slowly decays. Scientists are still studying the area, particularly the long-term effects of radiation on plant and animal life. North Sentinel Island. North Sentinel Island sits in the Bay of Bengal, roughly 22 miles from the nearest piece of land, and the Indian government has made it illegal to go anywhere near it. The tribe that lives there, known as the Sentinelese, are one of the last completely uncontacted tribes on Earth, and it's estimated to have somewhere between 50 and 150 individuals. The ban exists partly to protect them from diseases they have no immunity to, since a single common cold introduced from the outside world could potentially wipe them out entirely, and partly because they've made it extremely obvious they want to be left alone. In 2018, a guy named John Allen Chow attempted to reach the island 3 times, but was killed on the 3rd attempt. Then in March 2025, a YouTuber illegally landed on the island, filmed himself leaving a Diet Coke and some coconuts as gifts, and posted the footage online. Luckily, he came out alive, but Indian authorities arrested him soon after. The Sentinelese managed their island without any outside help for thousands of years, and the general consensus among anthropologists is that the best thing the rest of the world can do is respect that and stay away. Lascaux Cave. The Lascaux Caves in southwestern France were discovered in 1940 by 4 teenagers who stumbled across them by accident. What they found inside was extraordinary. About 600 paintings and 1,500 carvings made by early humans somewhere between 15,000 and 20,000 years ago, covering the cave walls with animals, symbols, and human figures. The site is sometimes called the Sistine Chapel of prehistory. The caves opened to the public in 1948 and quickly became one of the most visited sites in France. However, by 1963, the damage was already obvious. The carbon dioxide, heat, and moisture from thousands of visitors breathing inside the cave had caused fungus and calcium crystals to grow directly over the paintings, which deteriorated the artwork that had survived for tens of thousands of years. The caves were immediately closed and haven't reopened to the general public since. Today, only a small number of scientists and preservation specialists are permitted inside, and even then they can only visit occasionally and under extremely strict conditions. Visitors instead tour a replica built nearby using the same materials and techniques as the originals, which honestly sounds less exciting, but is probably the right call if the goal is keeping 20,000-year-old paintings intact. Vatican Secret Archives. The Vatican Apostolic Archive, located inside Vatican City in Rome, holds roughly 53 miles of shelving containing documents spanning more than 12 centuries. Despite the name, it isn't exactly secret anymore. Limited access has been granted to approved scholars since 1881, but the public cannot visit. And even credentialed researchers face significant restrictions. They have to apply through a university, request specific documents in advance, and can only access materials up to 1958. Researchers work in monitored reading rooms and are not permitted anywhere near the actual storage areas. The archives include some genuinely significant documents, though. Among them are the official 1521 letter excommunicating Martin Luther, letters written by Michelangelo, and records from Galileo's trial. The reason access is so restricted isn't really about secrecy in the dramatic sense. It's mostly about preserving all of the sensitive historical and political material. Still, 53 miles of shelves worth of undisclosed historical records does make for an interesting mental image. Svalbard Global Seed Vault. The Svalbard Global Seed Vault is built into the side of a mountain on a Norwegian island about 810 miles from the North Pole. It was built in 2008 with one purpose: to store backup copies of the world's crop seeds in case of a large-scale catastrophe. It extends about 430 feet into permanently frozen ground, which keeps the seeds cold even if the power fails. And only authorized personnel with specific clearance are allowed inside the storage chambers. As of now, the vault holds over 1.3 million seed varieties, including ancient crop types that farmers no longer grow and wild plant species with traits that could be useful if the climate continues to shift. It has only been used for withdrawal once. In 2015, seeds were taken out to help replace collections lost during the Syrian civil war, then returned in 2017. Gangkhar Puensum Mountain. Gangkhar Puensum sits on the border between Bhutan and China and stands at 24,836 feet, making it the highest unclimbed mountain on Earth. 4 expeditions attempted to summit it between 1985 and 1986, all of which failed due to the extreme difficulty of the terrain and the harsh conditions. Then in 1994, the Bhutanese government banned all mountaineering above 19,685 feet, out of respect for local spiritual beliefs. The mountain is considered sacred, and the government has been consistent about enforcing the restriction ever since. China has occasionally permitted attempts from its side of the border, but none have succeeded. The combination of a government ban, genuinely brutal climbing conditions, and the fact that no one has ever stood at the summit means Gangkhar Puensum occupies a unique position as a place that is both forbidden and unconquered. There are climbers around the world who consider it the ultimate remaining mountaineering challenge. For now, though, it stays untouched. Room 39. Room 39 is believed to be located inside the Korean Workers' Party building in Pyongyang, North Korea, and it is thought to be one of the most secretive financial operations on the planet. Supposedly, Room 39 was established in the late 1970s and operates a network of overseas bank accounts, shell companies, and trading businesses designed to generate revenue for North Korea's leadership. No independent observer has ever been allowed inside, and North Korea has never publicly acknowledged its existence. What's known comes almost entirely from people who left the country and from foreign intelligence agencies. The organization is believed to run both legal businesses, including hotels and restaurants, and illegal operations involving counterfeiting and smuggling. It is estimated to generate hundreds of millions and potentially over $1 billion per year, though the exact figure is impossible to verify. That money funds the lifestyle of senior North Korean officials and helps finance government programs, including the country's weapons development. And because no one outside has ever seen it firsthand, Room 39 remains one of the most mysterious and tightly guarded financial operations in the world. If you like this video, subscribe for similar ones. Thanks for watching.